Welcome to the channel. Today we're unlocking 17 secrets of the rich that the poor ignore. Now let's clear something up. When I say rich and poor, I'm not talking about your current bank balance. I'm talking about mindset. Because here's the truth. There are people with six-figure salaries who still think broke, living paycheck to paycheck. And there are people with average incomes who already think like investors, building wealth step by step. The difference isn't money. It's perspective. And once you understand these secrets, you'll see how rich thinkers create opportunities where others see limitations. So, stay with me until the very end, because one shift in perspective could change how you play the money game forever. And if you're new here, subscribe to the channel. Now let's dive into the very first secret of the rich. And this one is the foundation for all the others. Rich people believe I create my life. Poor people believe life happens to me. Think about it. There are two kinds of people. One grabs the driver's seat in life, steering toward their goals. The other sits in the back, hoping someone else will drive them somewhere better. Rich thinkers believe they create their life. They don't wait for luck or timing. They build opportunities. Poor thinkers believe life is out of their control. The economy's bad. The system's unfair. I can't catch a break. That language is passive, and passivity kills wealth. Look at Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. He didn't wait for perfect conditions. He was cut from football, broke, and living in his mom's apartment with just $7 in his pocket. But instead of saying, "Life happens to me," he said, "I'll create my life." That shift turned him into one of the highest-paid entertainers in the world. So here's the truth. The moment you accept responsibility, you reclaim power. And that leads us to the next secret, because once you accept you create your life, you need to decide how you'll actually play the game. Rich people play the money game to win. Poor people play not to lose. Life is like a game. But here's the catch. Most people aren't even playing to win. They're just playing not to lose. Poor thinkers say, "I'll keep what I have. I'll stay safe. I'll avoid risk." They guard their little pile of money like a team that never leaves defense. But in money, defense doesn't build wealth. Offense does. Rich thinkers step onto the field with a winning mindset. They study the game, take calculated risks, and position themselves to score. They know losing a round doesn't mean losing the match. Take Elon Musk. He risked his PayPal fortune on Tesla and SpaceX and nearly lost it all. But he wasn't playing not to lose. He was playing to win. And that mindset created companies worth hundreds of billions. So here's the takeaway. You don't grow wealth by hiding. You grow wealth by playing to win. And once you make that shift, you'll understand the third secret. Because winning requires commitment, not just wishful thinking. Rich people are committed to being rich. Poor people just want to be rich. Here's a hard truth. Wanting is easy. Commitment is rare. Poor thinkers say, "I want to be rich." But their actions don't match. They hope for luck, dream about the lottery, or chase get-rich-quick schemes. They're waiting for wealth to arrive. Rich thinkers make a decision. I will be rich. And then they align their time, energy, and habits with that decision. It's not about wishing. It's about committing. Take Arnold Schwarzenegger. Before Hollywood, before politics, before anything else, he committed to being the best bodybuilder in the world. That single-minded focus took him from a small town in Austria to global stardom. Later, he applied the same mindset to acting and business. It wasn't luck, it was commitment. When you commit, obstacles become temporary. When you just want, obstacles feel permanent. And here's the next. Once you commit to wealth, you can't think small. That brings us to the next secret of the rich. Rich people think big. Poor people think small. Here's the reality. Small thinking keeps you trapped. Big thinking pulls you into a new world of possibilities. Poor thinkers limit themselves. If I can just cover my bills, I'll be fine. Rich thinkers ask bigger questions. How can I build something that impacts lives? How can I create freedom for myself and my family? Think about skyscrapers. They don't begin as small plans. They begin as bold visions on a blueprint, where someone dared to think higher than the buildings already around them. That same mindset applies to wealth. When you aim bigger, you attract resources, people, and opportunities that would never show up for small goals. Thinking big doesn't mean reckless dreaming. It means designing a future beyond survival. Every major leap in history started with someone refusing to settle for enough. And that leads us to the next secret. Because once you expand your thinking, you'll need to sharpen your vision to spot opportunities where others only see obstacles. Secret 5. Rich people focus on opportunities. Poor people focus on obstacles. Imagine two hikers on the same mountain trail. One keeps complaining about the steep slope, the rocks, and the dirt. The other notices fresh air, hidden paths, and the breathtaking view waiting at the top. That's the difference between poor and rich thinkers. Poor thinkers see the reason something won't work. It's too risky, too hard. What if I fail? Rich thinkers ask, what if it works? What could I gain if I try? Opportunities are like doors, but you'll never walk through if your eyes are glued to the walls. People who build wealth train themselves to search for possibilities hidden inside challenges. Every obstacle contains a seed of opportunity, but only if you're looking for it. So here's the takeaway. Obstacles are guaranteed. The difference is your focus. And speaking of focus, the next secret will show you why your attitude toward successful people can either block you or open the floodgates of opportunity. Rich people admire other rich and successful people. Poor people resent them. We've all felt it. That flash of envy when someone else achieves what we want. But here's the divide. Rich thinkers use admiration as fuel. Poor thinkers let resentment eat them alive. Think of it this way. Life is like a giant buffet. There's more than enough success to go around. The rich know that someone else's win doesn't steal from their plate. In fact, it proves what's possible. Take LeBron James. He openly studied Michael Jordan's mindset and Kobe Bryant's work ethic. Instead of resenting their greatness, he admired it, absorbed it, and built on it, becoming a legend in his own right. Poor thinkers look at success and say, "Why them, not me?" Rich thinkers say, "If they can, I can learn how." And that leads to the next secret. Because once you admire success, the smartest move is to surround yourself with people who are already living it. Secret 7. Rich people associate with positive, successful people. Poor people associate with negative or unsuccessful people. Think of your circle as the climate you live in. If you spend time in a cold, harsh environment, you adapt to survive. But if you surround yourself with warmth and light, you grow. Poor thinkers surround themselves with complainers and doubters. Every dream is shot down with "that's impossible" or "be realistic." And slowly, that negativity seeps into their own beliefs. Rich thinkers intentionally build their circles. They seek out people who inspire, challenge, and elevate them. It's not about using others. It's about creating an ecosystem of growth. Being around winners makes you think bigger, move faster, and push further. Your circle can either drain you or charge you. So ask yourself, do the people around you fuel your ambition or poison it? And once you align your circle with success, the next step is natural. You must be willing to put yourself out there and promote your own value. Moving on to the next secret. Rich people are willing to promote themselves and their value. Poor people think negatively about selling and promotion. Here's a simple truth. If you don't believe in what you offer, why should anyone else? Poor thinkers see self-promotion as arrogant or pushy. They hide their talents, hoping someone will magically notice. But hiding value serves no one. Rich thinkers view promotion differently. They know their skills, products, and ideas solve problems. And if something genuinely helps people, then sharing it is not arrogance, it's service. Imagine a doctor discovering a cure but refusing to tell anyone because it feels like bragging. That's how most people treat their own abilities. They keep them locked away. Promoting yourself is simply shining light on the value you bring. The world can't reward what it can't see. And when you start putting your value out there, challenges will come. Which brings us to the next secret: how the rich handle problems differently than everyone else. Rich people are bigger than their problems, poor people are smaller than their problems. Life throws challenges at everyone, no exceptions. The difference is whether you shrink in front of them or grow beyond them. Poor thinkers treat problems like mountains blocking their path. They stop, complain, and eventually give up. Rich thinkers treat problems like weights in a gym. The heavier the problem, the stronger they become by lifting it. Think of inventors. Every breakthrough, from electricity to flight, came from people who failed repeatedly, but treated every setback as training, not defeat. That's the mindset of being bigger than your problems. Here's the shift. Problems don't shrink. You grow. And once you see challenges as stepping stones, not roadblocks, you stop fearing them. And that takes us directly to the next secret, because once you learn to grow through challenges, you must also learn to accept the rewards that come with them. Secret 10. Rich people are excellent receivers. Poor people struggle with receiving. This one surprises people, but it's powerful. Poor thinkers secretly believe they're unworthy of abundance. So when opportunities or blessings come, they push them away. Compliments are deflected. Help is refused. They keep the door closed even when success knocks. Rich thinkers open the door wide. They understand that receiving isn't greed, it's balance. Giving and receiving are two sides of the same coin. Imagine life as a river. If water only flows out, eventually the river runs dry. But when it flows in and out, it stays alive. That's how wealth works. To create flow, you must also receive. So stop rejecting opportunities, help, or recognition. If life offers you abundance, accept it. You can only multiply what you're willing to receive. And once you master receiving, the next question becomes, how do you want to be rewarded? For your time or for your results? By the way, if you're enjoying this breakdown so far, comment the word "more" so I know to make more videos like this. All right, let's move on to the next secret. Rich people focus on their net worth. Poor people focus on their working income. Ask the average person, "How's your money?" And they'll tell you their salary. But income isn't the ultimate measure of wealth. Net worth is. Net worth is everything you own minus everything you owe. It's your investments, assets, and equity, the real scoreboard of financial health. Poor thinkers focus only on their paycheck. But paychecks come and go. Rich thinkers measure their progress by net worth. They ask, how much am I growing the pie that sustains me long term? Think of it like farming. Income is the fruit you pick today. Net worth is the orchard you plant that keeps producing for decades. So start tracking your net worth, even if it's small. Awareness is power. And because knowing the numbers is only half the battle, I'm building something to make this easy. It's a Google Sheets, simple but powerful. It helps you track net worth, investments, income, cash flow, spending habits, even your compounding progress, all in one place. It's not just a tracker. It's a strategy hub. The kind of thing I wish someone had handed me 10 years ago. If enough people want it, I'll launch it soon with an exclusive discount for early supporters. The link to the early access waitlist is below. Trust me, it'll cost less than one bad financial decision. And that's exactly the point. And this brings us to the next secret. Because knowing your net worth is only valuable if you also learn to manage money wisely. Secret 14, rich people manage their money well. Poor people mismanage their money. Here's the truth. Money is like a team of employees. If you give them no direction, they wander off. If you lead them well, they multiply. Rich thinkers treat every dollar like a worker. They budget, invest, and make each dollar earn more dollars. Poor thinkers treat money emotionally, spending recklessly when it arrives, then panicking when it's gone. Imagine two buckets. One has a hole at the bottom. No matter how much water you pour in, it drains out. That's poor money management. The other bucket is sealed tight and strategically pours into new containers. That's wealth management. Managing money isn't about being cheap, it's about control. Every dollar has a job, whether it's paying bills, building savings, or creating future income streams. And this naturally leads us to the next secret. Because once you manage money well, the goal is to make it start working harder than you do. Rich people have their money work hard for them. Poor people work hard for their money. Most people spend their whole life trading hours for dollars, running on a treadmill that never stops. Poor thinkers believe the only way to earn is by working harder. Rich thinkers know the real key, making money work harder than they do. Investing, compounding, creating passive income streams. These are the ways the wealthy build freedom. Imagine planting seeds that grow into trees. At first, you water them daily, but eventually, they bear fruit on their own, year after year. That's what investments are. The earlier you plant, the sooner you can step off the treadmill and let the orchard sustain you. And once you understand how to put money to work, the next challenge is overcoming the inner barrier that stops most people from taking action: fear. Moving forward, let's dive into the next secret. Rich people act despite fear. Poor people let fear stop them. Fear is universal. Everyone feels it. The difference is how you respond. Poor thinkers freeze. They wait for fear to disappear before they act, and that day never comes. Rich thinkers act while afraid. They understand that courage is not the absence of fear, but moving forward in spite of it. Think of fear like a shadow. It looks huge when you stand still. But the moment you take a step, it begins to shrink behind you. Every great achievement, every business started, every investment made, every bold career move involved fear. But the rich don't negotiate with it. They use it as fuel. And this ties directly into the final secret, because once you act despite fear, you realize growth never ends. Secret 17. Rich people constantly learn and grow. Poor people think they already know. Wealth is built by students, not know-it-alls. Poor thinkers close the book early. I already know enough. Rich thinkers remain curious for life. They read, listen, study, ask questions, and treat every experience as a lesson. Imagine your mind as a garden. If you keep planting, watering, and fertilizing, it grows stronger year after year. But if you neglect it, weeds of ignorance take over. This is why the wealthy invest in education. Not just formal schooling, but mentors, books, podcasts, and communities. Every new skill adds a tool to their wealth toolbox. The world is constantly changing. If you stop learning, you fall behind. But if you stay curious, you stay ahead. And there you have it. The 17 secrets of the rich that the poor ignore. Remember, wealth isn't built by luck. It's built by mindset. From taking ownership to focusing on opportunities, to tracking your net worth and letting your money work for you, every secret is a shift in how you think and act. Apply even a few of these, and your life will change. Apply them all, and you'll unlock the millionaire mindset. If this video helped you, I highly recommend watching my next video. Hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment sharing which secret hit you the hardest. And don't forget, the link for early access to the Command Center tool is in the description. Until next time, stay consistent, stay focused, and stay building.